one, maybe, I may slip a one in here and there, but as far as every week goes, this is the last Dawn White Thursday night live stream. It's been a good run. Brandon and I estimate somewhere in the vicinity of 90 of these we've done. Had tremendous guests and good friends and a good community of folks all through the 2 years of the pandemic. And so now I'm going to travel now, and I have to sort of give it up. But I know how to do it now, so if you want, if anybody wants me to do like a Zoom show for them or anything like that, just call me. I'm happy to do it. I'm going to play this song for Kevin. Kevin and his wife, she have showed up every week and have been very generous as well to me and bought my books and donated to the grocery bill all the way through. And so this is a song that they like, and he has to check out, he told me, at 8. So I'm going to get this out of the way now for him so I don't forget it later. And nice to see you all. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. She keep her ticket stub and a chunk of mud at her house in the little shrine. She was always the girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. If you ask her about it, man, you better sit down. Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talking about the Grateful Dead, Summer of Love or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in her glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And at night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. When she wasn't dreaming, she always had the feeling somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You should have been 20 in 1969. Oh, the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach at Montezuma, Costa Rica, man, they're having all kinds of fun singing. Only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Barbara Ram Dass never said, be there then. It's gonna take a big leap of faith if you really want to find your tribe. Those were the first words that Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. And there they all were, all the people like her, who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving on the road all the way to Minnesota, having all kinds of fun singing Jimmy and Jerry, dead and buried, and they're never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Barbara Ram Dass never said, be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. Since then she believed there was never gonna be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take your big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, man, they're having all kinds of fun singing. Only 1 minute, you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. Love you, Grandma, but Barbara Ram Dass never said, be there then.
Yeah,
good.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, and thank you you and your wife for the support through the years, and I made a pretty determined. I'm making a pretty determined effort to get to Chicago before it gets cold. Like sometime in the summer or the fall. So I want to do it, and so hopefully I'll see you guys in person. So I want to talk about that song there. If you know somebody, like a young person who feels like they were born in the wrong time, that the cool stuff happened in the 60s and the 70s, you need to dissuade them from that. And one of the ways you could do it is by introducing them to the band called Wookiefoot. Wookiefoot. Write that down. Wookiefoot. And they only do a few shows a year. They're out of Minnesota. They do this festival called the Shangri-La Festival. Look that up too. It's small, 3,000 people, but it's like a little mini Woodstock in a modern version. It's not a good place to go if you haven't cleaned up your drug problem yet, I don't think. But that's kind of a Woodstock thing too, right? But it's just peace and love and young people taking the idea to another level. So Wookiefoot is my daughter's favorite band, and she told me about them. And then the song Shangri-La has that line in it. It's going to take a leap of faith to find your tribe. And then the festival. So she just posted that song on their Patreon page. So maybe I'll get a call from Wookiefoot someday. All right, so let me look at you here. Welcome. Neil, I see you, buddy. How are you? Look at you. How you doing, my friend?
Good, my friend. Good to be here in your final virtual show for now.
Neil, and this next song, I'm gonna play it with a Roslindale open mic pick right here. Just
well, I'm so honored, Don. I am. Thank you, and you've been such a hit at every time you've played at my open mic, and whether it's virtual or a lot of times live, we always love having you.
I'm a darn good open micer at this point.
You are.
All right, so let me play this for Thelia. I see her smiling face over there in Kentucky. Hi, Thelia. Those of you here on Zoom, welcome. Those of you watching on other platforms, hello. Nice to see you, not see you, whatever. I'm glad that you're here. If you want to come over and join us in the Zoom part, Brandon, our super technician who's been with us for all these shows, he will put the Zoom information in your chats, your respective chats, and you're welcome to come over and be part of the conversation in between songs here. So here, Thelia is my friend from Kentucky, and her mom have come all the way through this thing, and there's a possibility that I'll be seeing them in September, although we're not sure about that. But in any case, this is the song that Thelia likes. Thelia, I'm not sure I played this song in the last 15 years until you asked for it. But now I'm kind of warming up to it again because I have a grandson who's running around this house upstairs, and he's 2.5 and screaming and throwing temper tantrums and all that. So it's reminded me of these days. When Mom come home from work today, I tell you what she saw. Every toy that me and my sister owned was laying out on the floor, and the table was covered with peanut butter and half-eaten sandwiches. It was cereal bowls, an open jar of mayo, and an empty can of tuna fish. Dad was drinking a 6-pack, he had 2 or 3 bottles gone. The sports page was laying on the living room floor, and the football game was on. And when Ma tripped over my toy transformer, that pushed her over the edge, and that's when we knew she was turning into Psycho Mom again. She's screaming, I'm fed up, finished, I'm through. I've had it up to here with all of you, I'm running away. I'm leaving today, I'm gonna join the carnival. First I'm selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, used to be calm. Picking up after you animals will turn me into Psycho Mom. Ma was working and Dad was babysitting us the other night. And me and my brother started yelling at each other and we got into a fight. We were punching, kicking, scratching, pinching, pulling each other's hair. Just about the time he knocked the TV over, we saw Dad standing there. His blood was bubbling, he didn't say nothing, he stood there at the door. Me and my brother took a look at each other and we looked up from the floor. And Dad started to scream like a wild banshee and started pulling out his own hair. And that's when we knew he was psycho too and we better get out of there. Screaming, I'm fed up, I'm finished, I'm through. I'm running away, leaving today, gonna join the carnival. First selling you kids for $1 a pound, a couple of cannibals that used to be normal. I never got mad, babysitting you animals that turned me into Psycho Dad. For an hour, our mother and her father were trying to keep us in bed. Me and my sister never miss a chance to play with their heads. We were using every excuse in the book to try to keep from going to sleep. She said, I'm thirsty. I said, I gotta pee. She said, I forgot to brush my teeth. Just got done with that classic one upon this fateful night, where you say it's too dark, they turn on the light, and then you cry cause the light's too bright. Ma's eyes bugged up, Dad's head exploded, and they both climbed up the wall. You should thank the Lord that you were not born to Psycho Dad and Mom. They're screaming, we're fed up, finished, through. Had it up to here with all of you are running away. Leaving today, gonna join the carnival. First selling you kids for $1 a pound. So anybody that will take you, we used to be normal. You remember, don't you, dear? We never got mad. Raising you animals turned us into Psycho Mom and Dad. Straight from my heart to Kentucky.
All right, Don.
Great job. All right, John. All right, Celia.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Celia, yeah.
Up, Celia. All right, so let's see. Brandon, is anybody requesting anything or? Look at all this.
Accordion.
We have I Know What Love Is from Tommy and Marlene, Away from the Sun, also from Tommy and Marlene, and then they requested the accordion door story, and many people seconded, thirded, and I believe fourth that request.
The accordion door story. The thing won't die. That story won't die.
Hey, it can't. You know, history.
It's a
classic.
The story that won't.
That's
die.
right.
Yeah, you know, when I play someplace new for the first time, and I'm trying to convince people who don't know me to come, that's the one that we use. We throw that video out there, and that people think, oh, this is going to be funny. And then I play I Know What Love Is, and they're like, this isn't funny no more. Tricked me. It was a bait and switch. A bait and switch. All right, so let me think about that. I'll do it, but I have to wait a little while for that.
It's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait. We'll see about that. Time will tell. Somebody requested this last week, so of course I'll play it now and they'll show up later. But it'll be recorded so that they know that I did play it for them. It's called Project Girl. It's an old song, and all the days of her youth were spent in housing subsidized by the government. And by the time that her neighbors were 12 years old, they knew how to steal automobiles and play that rock and roll. She-bop, she-waddy-waddy, Project Girl. She-bop, she-waddy-waddy, ooh-doo-wah-doo-wah. Shoo-wah-dee, wah-dee, project girl. She buck, shoo-wah-dee, wah-dee, ooh-doo-wah, doo-wah. I was raised on the other side with the white picket fences and a brand new bike. When the sun was hot and the days were long, my dad turned on the sprinkler to save the lawn. But now I'm grown, I work all day. When I come home, I moan, I groan and complain. But my project girl puts me in my place, calls me a middle-class spoiled brat to my face. Project girl, she bucks you waddy waddy doo waddy waddy. Waddy waddy project girl, she bucks you waddy waddy doo waddy waddy. But by the time that she married me, she was already adept at austerity, and she can keep us going on my piddly pay. She can cook a potato 119 ways. Project girl, doo-wah, doo-wah. Project girl, love my project girl. If my young daughter hates what we eat, she's liable to pick it up and throw it at me. Well, the projects have never been her home, but her mother gave her project grown mother's own soul. It don't matter where she may live, she'll always be a second generation project kid. Do-wah, do-wah. Project girl, I love my project girl. These classy women in their fancy clothes, they're very impressive, I suppose, but I wouldn't trade my project girl for every Maserati mama in this whole wide world. I love my project girl. There you go.
All right,
Well
Don.
done.
The crowd's going wild. The crowd's going wild. I don't know. Seems it's all good. So I want to say hi to Rick Doyle and where's he at? I saw him earlier. Rick and
Hey, Don.
Sarah Doyle. Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Hi, Don.
Sarah's here too.
Sarah's here. Oh, hi, Sarah. Nice to not see you. Nice to hear you.
There's something wrong with my camera. I'm sorry.
That's all right. We you know, I'm a man. You know, audio is good too. Those good folks.
Besides, you don't want to see us sitting around naked.
Well, you know, this is the last show. Maybe we can all do that.
Wait,
not
that's
a
an
good idea.
option?
Not a good idea.
No, not a good idea, right? You know, when I first started teaching performance skills, people would say to me, I had a performance coach, and he said, if you're nervous on stage, just picture the audience in their underwear. And I'm like, I'm trying to calm myself down, not horrify myself. Maybe your audience, but not, you know, my audience is my age. Clothes are good for them. All bets are off tonight. I'm going to say whatever I want, not holding back.
There you go.
She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered. In her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life brings down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking, and as their spirit dies, but deep inside we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky. And those dark eyes, they are so alive, they set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel, I say to myself. I feel Zuzu's petals, I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are.
Beautiful, Don.
Woo!
Beautiful, Don.
And that was gorgeous. Thank you.
I love that song.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I have a long history with that song. It's been good to me. Really good. Played it in some very dark places for some people who were in, teenagers in rehab and, all that. And yeah, it's good. Okay. One of the things you can do in this world is just believe in people. I mean, is that so hard? Just like, you can go walk out your door and go find a bunch of young people, and chances are, especially if you live near like a place like Lynn, you can find one of them there that nobody's ever said I believe in you to them, and they might be 22 years old. It's such an easy thing to do, and it's a shame that people are walking around with that easy to fill hole in themselves still, but who am I to preach? I don't know. All right. In the 18, 20, 35, 40 something years, let me get this right. In the 43 years that we have been wed, I've wondered if you ever heard a word I said. Till I said, pass that remote control over here, and you told me to blow it out my ear. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. When my fans call up and say that I'm great, you tell them that is a huge mistake. If they had to live with me, they would understand what a big pain in the ass I am. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old in my sassy brat. There are men who like women that they can dominate, who bring them breakfast in bed and always tell them that they're great. Well, my sassy lady never does that for me, but at least a life with her is definitely not boring, not even for a minute. She says if you want me to believe that you're great, do a couple loads of laundry around here someday. Hey pal, it's only because you're still kinda cute that I haven't already gotten rid of you. I love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old in my sassy brat. Sassy bratty lady been hanging around here, driving me crazy all of these years. If I could ever afford to see a psychiatrist, I'd ask him why the hell do I like being treated like this. We were in bed but we were still awake. You said I really love you in this life we've made. I said, hey, can I quote you on what you just said? You told me if I did you'd punch me in that head. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. I hope it's not too much to ask. Let me grow older with my sassy brat. Okay.
Beautiful, Don.
Awesome.
All right.
We've got a request update if you'd like. We've got a lot of them. You want me to rattle down the list?
Go right ahead.
Ordinary Women and Men, Last Dance,
Wow.
A Little More Love. Those are from Kara.
Okay.
And then the other ones I already told you. And then Jane on Facebook said the song about the nursing home.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Which one is that? Is that I Know What Love Is? I don't know.
I'm guessing that's probably what she meant, which was already,
Oh.
or
Okay.
So many nursing home death songs. It's hard to keep track of them all. Some for a comedian, there sure are a lot of songs in here about funerals and death and nursing homes.
work with the high points, right?
Such rich land
It's
for
all part of life.
song lyrics, really. All right, so let me sing "I Know What Love Is." This is a song I wrote 1990, maybe. I sang it. The first recorded version of it that wound up on an album called "Two Vagabonds in Disguise," which was my first album that came out on a CD, 1991. Was recorded right after it was written at the Old Vienna Coffee House, which Tim Mason is here somewhere. He ran, and I was opening for the Poussette Dart Band, maybe something like that. So I couldn't afford to go to the studio or anything. So I recorded my opening set and used the song on the album. It was a low budget operation, but it has made me so. Here, let me sing it, and then afterwards I'll tell you one of many stories about this thing. One thing to say, I think, having this song, so 1990, 2000, 2010, 20, 30, 32 years this song. Every decade or so, I'm thinking about a different woman in my life when I'm singing it. You know, like my mother when she died, so there is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she's waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, working jobs too. They're raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents, now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath, from the moment you're born. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her, and she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true.
Beautiful, Don.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
Alright, so that song's made me more friends than any of the other ones, all of them, the rest of them combined. It did more for my career. I just like somehow just tapped into something that resonated much further out there than I could get myself. And just a couple of things coming to mind. Most of you who have seen me have probably seen me in a place that holds 200 people or less, and maybe just like a house concert, maybe a living room, right? So, I mean, that's generally where I play. Somewhere between 40 and 300 people would be the sort of average audience, with the average of the average being in the 80 zone, I would say, right? But one time, I was asked, lucky enough to play at the Ann Arbor Folk Festival, and I didn't know what I was getting into. It was indoors, and I think the place is called the Hill Auditorium. So I was with my daughter. We drove out there, and I opened the door to go in for sound check, and it opened to the back of the stage, and the place holds 4,000 people. It's got 3 tiers like that, not just a balcony, but three balconies like that. And I got to sing that song with 4-part harmony with Matt Watroba and Deborah Wood and Katie Geddes in that room. And you know, not that more is better, but more is better. What do they say? Size matters.
I'll bet you could still hear a pin drop.
There was chills. It was all I could do to
Yeah.
get through it.
Mhm.
All I could do to get through it. And it was a, you know, I enjoy all of them. I enjoy just singing it here just to my computer, honestly. But that's one that sticks out. I want to tell you a story. So early in the song, it says a little girl is standing by the gate waiting for her dad to come home. And this woman told me this story. She's got a 5-year-old, and it's her and her dad's favorite song, right? And he sings it to her at night. And but they have a house in the suburbs with no fence around it, right? So one day the father comes home from work, and the little girl had taken, you know, the gate that you put to keep the dog out of the living room, that gate, right? The that kind, it opens up like that. Well, she got that, and she stood it in front of herself when the dad came in, and she started singing the song to him. Oh my God! Like, so she's standing by the dog gate waiting for her dad to come home. I mean, come on, that's I can't even tell that story. It's just too sweet, you know, too cool. So you know, you're lucky if you have one song like that in your life. I've had a few that have resonated in people's lives, but that one has really done the job. And I try not to, you know, singing it for 30 years, I could easily be thinking about other things, but I try to just remember how I felt when I wrote it, so that I can, you know, show appreciation for you know, having a song like that. You know, not just phoning it in. So what the problem is, like right now, I mean, you know, I get emotional because I feel the feelings in it. I think about my mom and my everybody. So, all right, there's that. So thank you for asking for that. Let's play a couple of more of these requests. I think I'll do the accordion door story after the break. Well, I might have to go watch it during the break just to brush up on it. They both took their soon after their children were born. Because you need to provide kids a stable environment, and you need to be steady and strong. But occasionally he will wake up his dreams to see how they feel in his hands. And he puts them away and goes to work the next day, an ordinary family man. Ordinary people will lay down their dreams knowing they may not see them again. And they do it for their families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. She never thought twice about devoting her life to take care of her daughter and son. And she works every night at a job she don't like. She does whatever needs to be done. But occasionally she will dress up her dreams and ask them if they'd like to dance. And for an hour or so she will let herself hold her beautiful dreams in her hand. Ordinary people will lay down their dreams knowing they may not see them again. And they do it for their families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. And now they sit with each other and they wait and they wonder on the day their first grandchild is born. And those dreams seem so distant. Now everything is different, and they know they are right where they belong. When the child is passed to them, a light passes through them. They both know, they both understand. And as they cradle that baby, they think they just may be an ordinary woman and man, who are holding their dream in their hand. Ordinary people will lay down their dream knowing they may not see them again. They do it for their families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Alrighty.
Don,
Thank you, everybody. Here, let me check in with you all. So I want to say this to you. For this next year or two, until I get a little bit older, like I'm a little more nervous about driving as much as I have to drive out there. I'm willing to come to where you are, especially those of you that come all the time. You have to, if I stay here on a weekend, the bottom line for me for take home money, if I work on the weekend, 1 or 2 shows, is like $1,500, right? So if you can get me to where you are and back again with something close to that in my hand after expenses, I'll come and do it out of respect for you and whatever. I can't come home with less money than I could have made staying here. I can't do that. But if it's something a close approximation, and I'm willing to use frequent flyer miles and all that stuff and all that. So just keep that in mind. I'm willing to do some road time in the next few years, especially for all of you here. Like Rick and Sarah, I'm determined to go to Chicago, and so Indianapolis and Chicago could easily be in a in a weekend. It's an easy drive. And same thing with Detroit, actually. So, so just keep that in mind because I think after a little while, after a year or two, I'm not going to want to do this anymore. I don't want to be 70 and driving at nighttime 5 hours and all that. I think there's this little window now where I still feel comfortable doing it, and I'd be happy to do it for you all. So just keep that in mind. And Oli, if you're still here, I have a gig on Saturday, the first Saturday in May, whatever it is, the 7th, I think it is. And that's going to be on the other end of the Upper Peninsula. I don't expect you to come, but I wanted you to know about it. It's a house concert for my friend Jason, and it's in St. Marie, whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's still 6 hours for you. You are 6 hours from nothing.
Yeah. Actually, Sault Ste. Marie is about 5 hours.
Well, there you go.
But it's still the UP.
It's still, you don't have to cross the bridge. You don't have to come to America to do it. He just gave me permission. I think I'll ask him later, but I assume what he'll want me to do is give out his email address rather than post his address, and then you can reach out to him. And that's going to be in May, so it'll be nice to be face to face, like one by all you guys one by one. I'm going to have to be face to face with eventually, right?
Right.
So
Most of the snow should be gone by then.
no promises. No
Do
promises.
not count on that. There are piles of snow out here.
You know, not till June 15th is the snow gone in the Upper Peninsula.
That was, yeah, that was.
That's what it was called.
All right, so
All
there.
right, May. What day in May?
I think it's the first Saturday. And then I forget what it is, the 6th or
About a
7th.
month.
Yeah, the 7th.
May 7th, 7:30 showtime. 316
so
East
Jason, I'll
Main
make-
Street.
I'll make sure that everyone has your email. Is that the best way, Jason, to do that? And they can reach out to you. Okay, good deal. So here we go.
Fly to
Back,
Sault Ste. Marie.
yeah, you know, what's the 5-hour drive to someone in the UP? You go that far just to get coffee, don't you?
Quite often.
All right. So, all right. So, let's see. Let me play one more song. I'll come back and play another half hour. And if I'll try to get to all the requests. If not, I don't have any rules tonight, so I can play a little longer or whatever. And like I said earlier, in what's the after party, there's no guests, nobody that I've invited. But anybody who wants to say a few words, read a poem, you know, there'd probably be a few people. So, you know, just try to keep it in sort of the 5-minute zone. But I would like that. I'd like to end this with your voices is what I would like. You know, that's my idea of the best way to do it. So, all right. So Brandon, I'm gonna play this, but I'm not telling the story, so you don't need to post the photos or anything. She told me she was stage 4. She walked onto the dance floor like it was the last dance of her life. Never saw a smile so bright. Never got a hug so tight. I never saw a dance all night illuminate a soul so bright. These eyes have seen a lot of things, but they never saw angel wings till they watched a woman dancing like it was the last dance of her life. Like it was the last dance, like it was the last dance, like like it was the last dance of her life. I know people love the old cliches, how everybody ought to seize the day. They post them on their social page every hour of every day. But you have got to love the irony of sitting down at a computer screen, posting carpe diems day and night, while your life goes passing by. I never saw a smile so bright, never got a hug so tight, never saw a dance all night illuminate a soul so bright. These eyes have seen a lot of things, but they never saw angel wings till they watched a woman dancing like it was the last dance of her life. Like it was the last dance, like it was the last dance, like it was the last dance of her life. Maybe tomorrow I will try to write a song about this precious life. But tonight I'd rather live this life than describe it while it's passing by. She told me she was stage 4. She walked onto the dance floor and her body started moving like this was the last dance of her life. Like it was the last dance, like it was the last dance, like it was the last dance of her life. There you go.
Beautiful, Don. I love that.
Nice job, Don.
Thank you, everybody. So 2-minute break, maybe a little more than that. I'm going to take a look at that story, see if I can remember how to tell it, and then I'll be back and play for a while. And thanks for being here. You've all been very generous over the years. So again, this is free, but if you can drop a few bucks into PayPal or Venmo or send me a check, like that works for me too. All that information is in your respective chats. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Thanks, everyone. All right. Okay, boys and girls, I'm back. So I'm gonna take a stab at this story. There was probably a 15-year period where this story was in every show that I did, but it's been a long time since I told it, but I think I can do it. But thank you for asking for it. Jim and Maureen from Detroit. I'm going to be in Ann Arbor on that Friday. So I noticed that you mentioned that in the chat there that you'd come and see me. So it's going to be at the Greenwood Coffee House on Friday the 6th. My website has been updated, donwhite.net, and there's information there. All right, so I want you, if you can, to unmute if you're in a quiet place. Do you know what I mean? Like, any sound that you make. This is the last time I'm ever going to say this. I've been saying this for 90 shows now. Any sound that you make is as loud as me, but I at the very beginning of this, I didn't want to tell stories and do comedy and all like that to a blank screen, so I want to be able to hear you. So if you're in a quiet place, no dogs barking, fire engines going by, whatever, unmute. And just remember, if you cough or whatever, Brandon will monitor this. If it gets noisy where you are, he'll shut it off. And I know now when I hear sound to stop what I'm saying and wait. I've learned the technique, the Zoom techniques. But so this story is called the accordion door story. This is part of the wealth of material that I got from my daughter's teenage years. She was such a source of inspiration for me for material. It was unbelievable. And people would ask me, do your kids, are they upset because you use them in the shows? And I'm like, yeah. I take the money and I buy them what they want with it. Here's the boots that you wanted and all that. So, balanced out a little bit. So when my daughter was 15, she was so much like her dad that I was simultaneously charmed and horrified. It was like a very traumatic experience for me because I didn't like the way she was, but it was just the same way as I was, So I was internally tormented during this period. And so when we bought our house, the house in Lynn, many years ago, there was no door on her bedroom. We couldn't afford to buy her a real door, so I bought her what's called an accordion door. Those of you that don't know, the accordion door has aluminum runners at the top with little squeaky wheels that run across it, and it kind of folds up like an accordion, like that, and it's on the middle, on the side, it's got kind of a combination door handle magnet thing. And I suppose if your dad is more mechanically inclined than my daughter's dad is, then it could be an aluminum runner on the bottom too. But hers just kind of flaps down there. I told her I designed it that way so the cat could come in and out. I was lying about that. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So that's the kind of door she's had on her bedroom ever since she was a kid. And when she was a teenager, in her mind, it was this close to child abuse. The fact that her parents removed from her God-given, constitutionally guaranteed right and privilege to be able to slam her bedroom door after she was done screaming at her parents. I see you're not all with me on this. Allow me to elaborate, okay? When my daughter was 15 and a half, her and her mother would fight. And I mean this, like two animals. To me, like I would know it was them. They'd be like nose to nose, and I would know it would be them, right? I would know, but I'd be in another room, and it would sound like somebody had turned the nature channel up loud on my television. And animals killing each other, and it sounds like this. Then it would abruptly end, like that, and then they would each go to separate ends of the house and leave me and the dog cowering on the couch in what I have indelicately termed the angry estro silence. That is such a dad joke. All right, so And we'd just be in there, like with the angry estro silence, just raining down off the walls on me and the dog, cowering right there. And then they would each come to me separately and complain about the other one. Like, it's an impossible situation for me, right? Because it's like their thing, First, my daughter would come and she would complain to me like this. This is what her lips look like when they're moving. And we complain and here, do it this way so I'm facing the microphone. We'd complain and complain, and I would focus and try to pay attention because I wanted to hear what she had to say, but I couldn't understand a single word of it. And the reason is that I have an attention deficit problem, especially when I hate what somebody's saying. He would be complaining and complaining like this, and I would focus and try to pay attention, but I couldn't get what she was saying. But I could get the gist of it. The underlying message would be she'd be trying to get justice for herself from me, which is ridiculous. Like I didn't have the heart to tell her that I'm the worst person you could ever come to try to get justice in this situation, because the truth is, if I could get justice from that woman, I'd get some for myself. I didn't have the heart to tell her that, so I took my cue from the dog, who always looks at me with sort of an empathetic eye, even though he can't understand what I'm saying, and I would just nod. Yes, I see it's a problem. Yeah, I hope it works out for you. That's all, Eventually, she would figure out that I was useless, and she would leave. And then her mother would come, and it would sound like when the teachers talk in the Charlie Brown cartoons, it'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Your daughter, blah, blah. And here's the thing, and this is only dads can understand this, I think. The truth is that if I have my wife on one side complaining to me and my daughter on the other side complaining to me at the same time, which happens more than you would think, right? If that was happening and I close my eyes, I swear to God, I can't tell which one is talking. It has occurred to me that the problem these people have with each other has something to do with the fact that they're identical. That's just a theory, okay? So, and this is what it would be like. I'd be in another room, and they would be nose to nose. And my daughter, let's say she's like 17 maybe, or something like this at this point, right? 17 and a half. And she'd be screaming, just like, both of them, right? And she'd be saying, I'm 17 years old, and you can't tell me what to do. I'll come home at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock and do whatever I want. And pretty soon, I'll be 18. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then she would go up the stairs, wop, bop, 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 and stand next to her little accordion door. She would scream at us from up there. Her voice would come bellowing down the hallway and wash over her mother and I like an angry teenage tsunami. And this is the sound that we would hear washing down the hallway, down the stairwell, and over the both of us. It would be this sound. And when I turn 18, I am moving out of this house! Weeky, weeky, weeky.
Thanks for going.
Legendary accordion door story.
I can vouch for that very story
Oh.
because I was honored to be in Don's house and that door was still there.
Okay.
So that's a true story.
Yeah, yeah. Truth is better than anything. I want to read something for you. We're kind of winding down here on my part of the Thursday 90 show run, and I was looking at this. So I want to thank all of you who bought my books over the years. The books really are what's keeping me alive now. Just for example, I did a show in Hartford, Connecticut the other day, and I think there was 75 or 78 people, which is quite a lot just coming out of COVID. Everybody was happy, and I think I made $250 on my table, selling product. That's not the door money, just from selling things. But if I was only selling CDs, I would have made $20. All the money was from book sales. So the selling CDs and making money for yourself as a musician, that thing is ending. You still have sometimes nights where people will do it. Sometimes they'll do it even if they don't have a CD player. But it's ending. But books are this new book that I wrote called The Hitchhiking Years, and 4 other stories. That's what's gonna give me my grocery money going forward. That'll be my money that I make in addition to whatever the venue pays me. So thank you to all of you. And those of you that liked it and told me so, thank you. And those of you that didn't like it and chose not to tell me so, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's a great book. Buy it if you have it.
It's a great book.
I really don't want to hear about how you don't like it, honestly. I just put it right up here. We have a strict no refund policy here at the Donaway thing. So I just thought I'll probably play a song after this, maybe, but this is sort of my winding down thing I wanted to. And this is from the end of the first book. It's called The Dinner Meeting. And I want you to know how much I appreciate all of you. Again, this is the last time I'm ever going to say this, which I say every week, because I don't want to slobber on you, but my heart has been enriched by the 2 years of you guys helping me feel connected and staying in practice and all of that. So I thought I would read this for you. Okay, everyone, sit down. Before we eat, I have a few important matters that need to be addressed. The first thing I want to do is congratulate all of you on the tremendous job that you have done. What this small, dedicated group has accomplished has been nothing short of astonishing. It's been a heck of a run, hasn't it? I mean, when we first took on this project, everyone said we were crazy. But look at where we are now. We have fulfilled and exceeded every single goal that we set for ourselves. I'm extremely proud of each and every person at this table. It has been a great honor and a privilege to work with you. Having said that, I must regretfully announce that this will be our last night together. Tomorrow, I will be betrayed by one of you, and shortly thereafter, I will be put to death. No, I'm not going to tell you which one of you it will be. Suffice it to say that, I've always loved this line, by the way. Suffice it to say that, as time marches forward, he will be the one disciple that no one will ever name a son after. Okay, never mind. How many Judases are there out there in the world? All right, now, I'm not going to lie to you. I never lie. It hasn't always been easy working with you guys. I know it's been hard for you to process a lot of these new ideas, but I must admit that I sometimes felt that the entire 3 years was a series of situations where I articulate an idea beautifully and poetically, and then we get together after the sermon, and you guys are all, what the hell were you talking about out there? Why should the meek inherit anything? Did you really say that if someone steals my coat, I should give them my shirt too? This shirt cost me $5. I'll be honest with you. There were lots of times when I felt like a man forced to teach advanced calculus to a class of special education students. Never mind what advanced calculus and special education are. That's not important. What I'm saying is that it could be very frustrating at times, but I made the decision early on that I wouldn't let it get me down. I wouldn't let it get to me, and that I would always take the time to sit you down and say, okay, let me explain this so you guys can understand it. I did that because I know how difficult a lot of this has been for you, and to your credit, you all worked very hard to get the message. You're a great bunch of guys. I really appreciate your commitment and everything that you have done for me. I have done my very best to get all this new information out into the world. Now that the job is essentially over, I am trying not to think too much about how it will be misquoted, misinterpreted, and manipulated by future generations. I keep telling myself that my job was just to get it out there and that I really can't be concerned about what will become of it in the future. However, there is one thing I really want you guys to try and get right. I'm going to talk about it now, and I want everyone to take notes and try to reassure me that you will not screw this up. During my crucifixion, I will look toward heaven and I will say, "Forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do." Has everyone written that down? Do I need to say it again? Simon, the word no is spelled with a K. Okay, when I say that from the cross, what I'm really saying is, forgive the people who are killing you. No, John, I did not mean to say, kill the people who are forgiving you. I meant exactly what I said. Listen to me. This is important. I am not going to be here to answer your questions and straighten out your problems forever. You are going to have to learn to do this for yourselves. Forgiveness is the tool that I am giving you to unburden your hearts from the anger and sadness so that you can be free to build lives of compassion and joy. That is what I want for you. I want you to be compassionate and joyful, and you'll all be relieved to know that forgiveness is something that you do not have to be a genius or a high priest to understand or to utilize. This is for everyone. Let me dumb this down for you. Your heart is my home. I will live there with you, and it will be a place of joy. When you are mistreated, hurt, betrayed, or angered, and you carry hatred in your heart, that hatred pushes me out of my home. I will stand outside the door and wait for you to forgive the one who has harmed you. Your forgiveness will evict the hatred from your heart, and I will move back in. This is not mystical, magical, or beyond the comprehension of the simplest among you. I know how much you all love the walking on water and the fish and bread episodes. I've got to be honest here. I just did that stuff to hold your attention. This forgiveness thing is not like that. It is a very simple, practical tool that everyone can use toward the goal of maintaining a light heart and a wonderful life. Try to remember this. When you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that you like what they did to you. It doesn't mean that you want them to do it to you again. It doesn't even mean that you won't poke them in the eye if they do try it again. What it means, the only thing it means, is that you refuse to carry the weight of hatred in your heart. My house. You have no idea how much I love you. You are all a great joy to me. Take this gift and use it. Please make sure that it gets written down the way that I've explained it here today so that all my children can also use it to take care of themselves. That's it. Let's eat. Judas, my friend, please pass the lamb.
Woo! All
Oh,
right.
Don, that is so beautiful.
Woo!
Can I ask you a quick question, Don?
Sure.
Since that's from your previous book, what chapter is that from?
It's the very end. It's a story called I think it's called The Dinner Meeting is the story. It's quite long. It's quite a long one. It has the thing about Maddie Campbell in it and all that.
Yeah.
It's the very last story in the book. It's the
Okay, I just haven't had that one out for a while, so thank you. I love it.
There's people who work at different churches who've used it. Not strict churches, but sort of your. What's the church that's like that makes Unitarians look like conservatives? You know what I'm talking about? The Unity Church. Unity Church in Michigan told me that they use that there, and that's what I want for you and for everybody. I want you to good at making sure that your heart is light, whatever it takes to do that. And the forgiveness thing is a tough one, but when you hate somebody, it doesn't hurt them, it hurts you, right? So if you really want to hurt them, don't hate them.
Living well is the best revenge.
I think so, don't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to play this for Tommy and Marlene, who have come, I think, just about every week through the whole time. And I just love them a lot. I'm going to see them out in Kansas when I'm out there in April. And this song is called Away from the Sun. It's a song that I wrote for my wife. And I just thinking about how much we've been through and how I know, just a sort of tribute to a good long marriage. And thank you. So after this, we'll open it up. I don't think I'll need to take a break. We'll just open it up and we can all chat. I'll just, if you want to just raise your hands up or whatever, and you want to say something or read a poem or something that means something to you, I want to hear from you. I think the best way to end 2 years of this is with your voices. That's if you want to, that's what will make me the most happy. So thanks for everything, you guys. September comes subtle, a chill in the breeze, I reach for my sweater, I know what this means. Warm days are not over, but change has begun. Subtle but steady, the world turns away from the sun. The summer was fruitful, the harvest looks good. Our family prospered like we hoped it would. Our struggles were many, those struggles are done. Come sit by my side while the world tilts away from the sun. Away from the sun. Away from the sun. Most hardly notice, but we know this change has begun. Change has begun. Change has begun. Subtle but steady, the world tilts away from the sun. On a world full of wonder, we spin through the sky. Loving, fighting, growing, and wondering why. While a big ball of fire above us looks down, shining warm light upon us as we spin around and around. Away from the sun, away from the sun. Most hardly notice, but we know this change has begun. Change has begun. Change has begun. subtle but steady, the world tilts away from the sun. Let's spend all the money on laughter and song. Let's dance with these bodies till these bodies are gone. And when it's all over, you'll know it is true. My life only had meaning 'cause I got to share it with you. September comes subtle, a chill in the breeze, a reach for my sweater. I know what this means. Warm days are not over, but change has begun. Come sit by my side, come dance with me while the world tilts away from the sun. That is the end.
Beautiful, John.
I like that one.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Awesome job, Don.
Awesome as always.
Let me look at you all. All right, so no rules tonight. Before we go further, hi Christina. Hi. No rules tonight. Just gonna go as long as you want to. I want to take a minute, so all of you unmute for a minute and give a nice round of applause to Brandon O'Sullivan.
Oh, Brandon!
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah. Brandon.
We invented this, him and I, we invented this idea of an interactive streaming show where the artist can feel the people he's performing to, and in 2 years there was a lot to learn. He makes it look really easy, but there's a whole lot going on back there that makes this work, and he's got his own business. Because of me asking him if he could do it and him being so good at it, he's been able to quit his other job that he was doing before the pandemic and to be doing this for other people. Jimmy Tingle, Christine Lavin, everybody wants him because he's reliable and trustworthy and all that. So Brandon, if you don't mind, I would like two things. For you to put your information in the chat so that people want to reach out to you for any kind of thing like this, which also has to do with video production. He'll do advertisements on videos for you and all that. He's just good and reliable. But also, if you don't mind, can you just spend a couple of minutes talking about what you're capable, what you could offer somebody, and then I understand you have a poem for us, so you could kick us off as well.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Hello, everybody. Not normally the one on the screen here, but other than live streaming events, which is sort of my specialty because, like Don said, we kind of invented it. That's sort of my expertise. Before that, I was into graphic design and videography, so I do that for a lot of my clients. Getting into podcast work, me and Jimmy Tingle just launched this podcast. I manage all of that for him. Web design, social media stuff, all that kinds of things. I'll post my website in the chat here in just a moment. The poem that I'm going to read for this is one that I read before, so some of you might have heard it. but it's one of the only ones that it's short. It stood out to me a lot. I don't know why, but for some reason it speaks to me. So it's the only one that I would really want to share with everybody. But it is called Lost by David Wagoner. Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Whatever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger. Must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes. Listen. It answers. I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying here. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you.
Beautiful, Brandon. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Woo! Nice.
that was beautiful.
Love it.
All right, so Brandon, you're part of the family here now, as far as I'm concerned. So everybody, since we're not gonna do these Thursdays, but there's no reason for us to not stay connected and just keep him in the back of your mind. He couldn't be better. For what I'm interested in, and reliability, good under pressure, show up when you say you're gonna, conscientious, gifted, all that. He's it. Everybody stole, took him away from me and paid him more money, but somehow he stayed loyal to me and my pittance that I could give him for all these Thursdays. But he's making 3 times as much for other people. So if that doesn't tell you what kind of person he is, there's nothing else I can say. And lovely poem one more time for Brandon as well.
Woo! All right, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brandon. Woo!
Brandon.
All right, so let's see. Raise your hand up if you want to say something or do something or sing song.
Sarah
Okay,
and
so
Marsha told me
Carla, go ahead. So Carla's come to us from New Mexico or Nevada. Where are you at?
I'm in New Mexico now. I live in Nevada.
All right. So what do you want to do for us in this our last of the million live streams?
Well, spending these times with you on Thursday has really meant a lot. And a friend of mine wrote a song, Happy Ron, and he's going to sing it, and it's going to express how I have felt towards you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we're very blessed in this time of all the shutdown that Carl and I actually met because of the shutdown and because of these Zoom calls. So, even out of difficult times, wonderful things can happen, especially friendship. Some people you want to talk to every chance you can. You walk into the room and they greet you with a grin. You like who you are so much better when you're with them. So thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my friend. Some people you want to talk to when each week comes along. You know that they'll support you and help you to feel strong. You hope they'll love your stories like the chorus of a song. So thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my friend. Some people you want to talk to. When something happens, it's new. You know life's best moments won't seem real until you do. And every day I'm glad I found my way to you. So thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my friend. When can we do this again?
Wonderful.
All right.
Wow, that is so wonderful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that was great.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was
Oh,
wonderful.
wow.
Thank you. Carla, tell me the young fellow's name.
Happy Ron.
Happy Ron. Thank you, buddy. Thanks a lot. Very gentle.
You
And
can find him
get back
anywhere on YouTube, Reverb, Facebook.
Under Happy Ron, one word.
All right. Well, thank you. That was great. You know what? It means a lot to me. It's very kind words. All right. Who else? Raise your hand up. Anybody who wants to say something? Marcia, go ahead.
Thank you for doing this all through the pandemic. I've been I look forward to this on Tuesday nights, and I appreciate everybody here. I wrote something, now I look at the date of it. It was 10 years ago yesterday I wrote this.
Wow.
So it's March 30th, 2012. It's short. It's 3 a.m. ramblings. My husband, the love of my life for 40 years, died less than 3 months ago. His cancer battle lasted 3 years from diagnosis. That was twice as long as they expected. We made the most of that time. Despite the chemo and the hospitalizations, we lived every day that we had. Each day was a treasure. I fought hard to be strong for him, to be cheerful, hopeful, and upbeat. But all that changed in January. Now I'm alone. Don't get me wrong, I have amazing friends. They call and invite me to spend time with them. I'm rarely home, but they can't fill the hole in me that was Greg. I've been part of a couple for most of my life, and now I'm just me. A sick, sour knot in the pit of my stomach is my constant companion. It sits there mocking me, daring me to function. Anyone who knows me knows that I must take up the challenge. And so we go about our day, my grief and I. From the moment I become conscious in the morning, I'm aware of Greg's absence. I remember his death. It's all so final. It seems there's little reason to do anything. Get up, eat, dress, go on. I think to myself, really, this is how it's going to be for the first year, maybe the second, and yet I am alive. It would be disrespectful to his struggle to give up. He worked so hard to live. I remember Greg's words, just because it's difficult doesn't mean I shouldn't still do it. And I go about my day from my self-care appointments to visiting with friends to riding my bike. I go to the grocery store and am struck by how sad it is to buy groceries for one person. I come home to a house whose emptiness is filled with memories that scream at me. He's gone. There's no shortage of tasks that need my time and attention. The enormous collection of stuff we've acquired over the course of our lifetime together, useful and decorative, mine as well as his, calls me to sort and cull and lighten my load. There are maintenance items on the to-do list too, not terribly urgent just yet. I tend to focus on the laundry and the dishes. Completing those gives me a quick fix, a sense of accomplishment. The other tasks feel like they require too much effort. I can't even bring myself to begin. And yet, I've been invited to join a small group of friends on a biking and cooking trip to Italy this fall. How cool is that? This is a dream trip. It's the sort of trip I would love to have taken with Greg. My grief and I have accepted the invitation. Perhaps I can honor it and distract it at the same time.
Beautiful, Marcia. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful, Marcia, for sure.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that.
That was
Thank you,
wonderful,
Marcia.
Marcia. Um, I, I'm gonna be in Westford pretty soon. Is that drivable for you? Do you
Oh,
live? Yeah,
it's 10 minutes away.
right. So
You're going to be at the Parish Center for the Arts, right?
yeah, the last Saturday in April. So you come out to that, and I'll hug you till it hurts. How's that?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. And that was this is what I want. I want everybody to say how they feel and what's important to them. That's what I mean. That's a big part of what my drive in this world. So that was just perfect and such a wonderful testimony to yourself, your
Thank
grief,
you.
and Greg too. So one more time for Marcia, please, everybody.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Marcia. Thanks so much.
All right, so now I'm gonna go to Sarah. She's savvy enough to put up the blue hand. She is
Hey,
Zoom
Don.
savvy. Sarah is Zoom savvy.
Hi, darling. Yeah,
All right,
I've been
so
doing a lot of Zoom for sure.
um, so everybody I think knows Sarah, but if you don't, she's the cornerstone of this thing. Sometimes she's like a song or two late, and I never feel like the thing is really starting until she's here. Her voice is between every song that I've sang in 2.5 years, and she does it for everybody. She's just a person who can't function in the world without letting other people know that they're beautiful, and that's it for me. That's the top of the pile. So I'm don't know. I better if I shut my thing off. You make me cry, Sarah. Stop it. I'm just
Now you're
crazy.
making me cry.
Yeah. So gather yourself up now. You have to perform. You have to be professional here.
Okay. Okay, I'll try.
I just, I couldn't love you any more than I do, and maybe California's in my schedule. Like I said, I'm willing to put the miles on here in these next couple of years, as long as it's not stupid, as long as it's not,
Yeah.
right? But maybe California sometime. No matter what, um, I'll never be able to explain to you what it's meant for you to be part of this the whole time. So you're the best. So whatever you want to say, you say it and take as much time as you want. I'm putting everybody else on a 5 minutes leash, but you, Sarah, you can use up how much time you want.
Okay, be careful. I could do 20 minutes on just one lip. All right. So I wanted to tell this story about my dad, and it's kind of two stories. So thank you, Don, for giving me permission because I'm going to mush these two stories together.
All right, go ahead.
So my dad was born during the Depression, and they were really poor, and he had to quit school in 8th grade to go to work to help support the brothers and sisters. And I later found out he started drinking when he was 9 years old. What's going on in your house that you're drinking alcohol at 9 years old, And he was an alcoholic his whole life. He had small bits of sobriety, recovery, came into our home when I was in my teens for a little bit. But he could never stay sober, because he couldn't talk about his stuff honestly, and he couldn't do the work that's suggested. And he was a very quiet man. He was very introverted and quiet, except when he drank. Sometimes then he got a little obnoxious. But the thing that I always knew about this man is that I knew that he loved me. He didn't speak very much. And the first time I ever heard Don White was I went to this festival and I heard him sing this song, I Know What Love Is. And it just hit me right in the heart, about my dad. And I ran home, I bought the CD. Actually, I bought a cassette tape. Thank you very much. I bought Don's cassette tape and I ran home and I played it for my dad. And my dad stood there and listened to it and he kind of teared up. He didn't say anything. And I just said, when I heard this song, it made me think about you and I just love you so much. And he just grabbed me and hugged me so tight, and said, I love you too, baby. And so, anyways, so we kind of always had this little special moment together. And then he passed away when I was 29 and a half. And so everybody came over to my mom's house to plan the funeral. And my brother walked in, and my brother was like laughing. And we're like, what the hell's going on? What are you laughing about? And my father, being a very frugal person, every time he went to the dump, he came home back with stuff, you know. It's how we got our first dryer because, you know, it just had a fuse broken. It's how we got our first microwave. That's a little scary because he fixed it. You know, everything we had, my dad basically got stuff from the dump and fixed it up. And so I learned to be frugal and careful with my stuff because we didn't have a lot of money to get things. And so my brother walks in laughing and he goes, you know, you remember like a few months ago, Dad went to the dump and he found a metal folding chair. Think old school church basement metal folding chair. And he got this metal folding chair and he spray painted it with a half can of spray paint that he got from the dump and cleaned it up. And he had it out on the front yard, just in the yard, because our house was on the way to the dump. So he often got people to stop by and get things from him that he would just put out in the yard with a sign that said $2. And so that thing he got in the fall of that year, and it was now January, and it had been sitting in the snow in Massachusetts for like 2 months, and no one had purchased it. And my brother was laughing so hard because when he pulled in, he looked over and saw that chair sitting there in a snowbanking with a sign that said $5. So my dad was the type of guy, like if it didn't sell, he would raise the price to create urgency. He wouldn't lower the price, you know? And then another time I was having a yard sale, and all day long he kept bringing stuff to my yard sale and saying like, I can't take less than $2 for this. And it was something he got free from the dump. You can't take less than $2 for it. And so when he passed, it was a huge hole in my heart. And at his funeral, we played that song, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house for sure. And so, Dawn, you've definitely been a part of my life for a very long time. And when you sing that song, I always think of my dad. And it makes me feel good because I still have this connection. And the message I'd like to say is that even though there was all this addiction and stuff going on, and there was drama and there was bad stuff that happened, there's a person in there. There was a person in that bottle. And sometimes he would pop out and my real dad would be there. And when he wasn't, the monster was there, and that wasn't so cool. And people like Don White have opened my mind to see that in all people, not just my dad. So I love you, John. I needed these 90 shows more than I even knew. And I love you so much. And I love you guys all so much too. You all mean so much to me. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, that was so beautiful.
That was, you know, we should just end it now, right?
Yeah.
That was it. Sarah, we have so much in common. You and I, dad from the Depression era. My dad, we should talk sometime. I don't want to, everybody, I want to hear everybody, but let me see if I can do this quickly. When he died, he never threw a piece of wood away. Like, it was like little triangular pieces of wood. I could use this someday. He never used them. They were covered in dust. The other thing was money. Like because he had no money. He told me when I was a kid, I used to pull leaves off of trees and roll them up and smoke them because I couldn't afford a cigarette. So he never let go of a nickel that he had. And when he died, before he died, he knew he was going to die. He drew me out a treasure map in the house. Like he said, you know, the third bay over in the basement, reach up behind the triangular piece of wood and go back there. There's a pile of money over there, and underneath the sink, reach way in and under. He's like a pack rat, you know, like those guys. The Depression influenced their whole life. You know, they were hungry, they were broke, there was no work, there was no money, there was no nothing. When they did okay, they never, you know, the other side of that was he wouldn't spend a nickel unless you were drinking with him, and then there were no limits at all. He'd throw drop $500 on you. So everybody's a walking contradiction in this world. All right, so Tommy and Marlene, do you guys want to say anything, or you're welcome to.
I don't know if I have any good words of wisdom, but I was thinking back when we saw you first down in Denton, Texas. We almost didn't make it because Tom wasn't feeling good, but we persevered and got there. We were so impressed, and you sang those songs we requested tonight. And then you came to Kearney, and right before you came to Kearney, we had our last little granddaughter was born. And so after that festival, I went to be with her for a while, and my daughter borrowed my car because I was watching her 3 kids and had needed car seats, and she was just running errands, and she was kind of late coming back. And I looked down there, she was sitting in the driveway. And I said, are you coming in? She says, well, I got to finish Don's song. And so she fell in love with you that day. And you sang, I know exactly what love is. And they were right in the raising 3 kids. And the youngest one is crying. And she listened to your songs, and you just really touched her heart right off the bat too. And that was just cool.
We're planning on going back out to Kearney maybe in a year or two to go see the cranes again, the crane migration, the sandhill crane migration. So maybe I'll get to meet her. Does she the one that lives in Omaha?
She does, but she'd probably come over and apologize for grounding us 2 years ago.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have been great, and I've traveled the whole country now, all of North America, and like one of the places I seem to be drawn to the rectangular states.
Easy to find your way around.
Like Nebraska's rectangular, kind of, right? And I just kind of like it there. There's something about it. It's it's a good place to not talk politics or anything like that. But the people are just. There's something about it that I like a lot. It's a different way of living, and so I'm grateful to you all, and I'll see you again, I'm sure. All right. So anybody else want to say anything? Sing a song about Mrs. Richardson? All right. This is Kentucky phoning in now.
Okay, Celia, you want to tell him?
Amy, this is Celia.
Celia, tell him what you want to say.
Don't be shy, Celia.
Don't be shy.
It's only the internet. What could go wrong?
What do you want to say? You want to say do you want to tell him that you'll miss this? Mm-hmm. Yeah? And you're being bashful because you're sad?
That's all right.
Yeah. You want to tell him what we had to get and try because you've never had it before?
That's great.
Brandon, can you spotlight them, please? Yeah, there it is. Hold that up again. There it is. Celia, that is bad for you. It is so bad.
She didn't know what it was, and so we had to get some and let her try it because she'd never had it before.
But did you like it?
Did you like it?
You have to try it with. You have to do it with peanut butter, a fluffernutter, peanut butter and fluff. That's it.
Tell him. Say I tried that. Did Daddy make you one?
Fluffernutter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 100%. It's 100% sugar, and in my opinion, as a person who grew up in Lynn, which is, of all our claims to fame, that is one of them right there. It's made in Lynn. My opinion really is what it's really the best for is if you have cracked tile in your bathroom. The places in between the tile.
Was it tasty? You don't know?
Yeah, it's really bad for you, but being good once in a while. Listen, Celia, I have great big expectations for you. I think you're going to be an artist, and you showed us your paintings before and all that. Your mom's a writer and all that, so I expect that down the road I'll be watching my TV and there you'll be on there famous and all that. It happens, and I should know. I'm an artist, right? Artists know when they see another artist, right? So I think that a future in the arts is coming for you. So that's my thought for you, and it's been a joy watching you. Maybe before this is over, we should have a little dance party. What do you think of that? I just thought of that. If there's still people here, Thelia, what do you think? All right, so we'll keep that in mind if there's enough people left over toward the end here. So hi Jeff and Hannah. Hi, look at you two guys. Oh, from our party last week. Unmute yourselves and say hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
We love you, Don. Just wanted to be here to say we love you.
Yeah, sorry we're late.
Well, that's okay. I don't really watch the shows over again, but I went and watched your stuff again. I'm a big fan of like the parts where you were in it the other night. I was really really great. So thanks a lot. And these are two good friends of mine they live in New York City now. And just glad to see you, and thanks for stopping by. And we'll see you in person. Tim Mason, did you want to do something before we're?
Sure, but it looks like Christina's gonna go out of here first. So go to Christina before she runs away.
Christina Thompson Lively, that one?
Me? Oh, thanks so much. I don't know if I'm coming through. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I don't, I wanted to say thanks so much, Don. This has been so great. It's been great to hear everyone too. And I don't know, I don't, let's see, I do have a Yeti microphone here. I'm not sure I want to do anything. I guess I could sing something very short.
Sure.
That would be, I'll just do this one here. And it's Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And I'm going to leave it at that because I know there's a lot of people who want to sing and share and read poems. But just thanks so much, Don, for bringing so much grace to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. That's Christina Thompson Lively.
Oh, Christina, that was beautiful.
A lovely person and a fantastic singer. Like really, just somebody is my go-to person when I need vocals. So thanks, Christina. We'll be singing together soon. I hope.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, well, what all to say? Well, first off, need to echo what you said about Brandon. You can't get a higher recommendation for both competence, reliability, and good humor throughout all sorts of things. So just got to underline that for Brandon there. You were spot on drafting him, Don. Beyond that, what else to say? These Thursdays have been great. Shannon is kind of mic shy, but she's been solid with this, and I don't know what's going to happen now. This is my marker for knowing that the recycling needs to go out. So you're gonna throw everything off, Don.
I know.
And let's see. Oh, to answer Neil's question from earlier, yes, Owen will be appearing on our 8:30 Club Bird Show on April 9th. That's a week from Saturday coming up. And we will get Don to bring you a storytelling show to the 8:30 Club. So you'll have a chance to see a different side of Don White by checking in with that. So it's 0830club.com. It'll be a little note in the bottle if you want to follow it. You'll see some familiar faces that way. All right. Anything else that I was supposed to say needs to say? I guess I didn't get my request for Charlie and Maureen in. But that goes way back into last century, and I think that was probably the first of Don's songs I heard in the Naked City hallway that got me saying, I got to get this guy out to the old Vienna. So keep that one dusted off, Don.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know. Is there a poem that you would like to hear?
Yeah. Why don't you give us some chocolate?
All right.
Yeah.
So this is also reaching back into last century. It's when I was a pusher. I worked at a little espresso joint in Worcester, Massachusetts, and we had these incredible bakers. And I discovered that if I was just articulate enough, I could boost sales. And I did it by talking about chocolate. It was the heart of chocolate. Cheesecake, mousse, cookie and pie, homemade hot fudge, thick and creamy, dribbling over the melting Haagen-Dazs perched on the chocolate croissant. Oh, chocolate thing, take us into the heart of chocolate where the calories are natural and don't amount to much if you count by threes. Swiss, Belgium, Godiva, Dove, chipped from 50-pound blocks into chunks, wrapped in cookie dough, baked and served warm. Only one bite takes us into the heart of chocolate.
There goes chocolate porn right there.
There you go.
All right, Tim.
That poem should come with a shot of insulin.
Amen.
I just took mine. That's why I could do okay. There's still that fluff up there.
Marshmallow fluff and chocolate. We're on the diabetes train today, everybody. All right. Thanks, Tim. I'm glad you're doing better. You look good, sound good. I'll see you soon. I'm working on your thing. I've talked to a couple people already. So, all right.
Great.
So, Tim and Susan, where are you coming to us from? Let's start with that. So, unmute yourselves.
Hi, Don. We've been coming in from Grays Lake, Illinois. We first saw you in the basement of a bowling alley.
Oh yeah.
In for the Lake County Folk Club.
Yeah. You know, it was the best bowling alley I ever played in.
I don't think it was a basement, but it was a bowling alley.
And now it's a bookie place, an off-track betting place.
Yeah.
You've been talking a lot about dancing, and this is a song that I wrote about the two famous dancers in my life, my mom and dad. I used to just love watching them dance at weddings, and they could cut a rug, as they say.
So just so you know, Zoom, right? You got your original sound the way you want it?
Yep.
Okay, great. Go ahead. Go right after it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. My father's name was Buck. He loved his darling Pearl. Ever since the first time he took her for a twirl on the dance floor. Whenever music played, he would take her by the hand. They'd hold each other close and listen to the band on the dance floor. I would watch and wonder while they sat and stared. She was Ginger Rogers, he heard Fred Astaire on the dance floor. And they do a two-step, man, they really move. When they did a polka, there was nothing left to prove. When they danced a waltz and moved together slow, he led, she followed, the way only lovers could know. My father's name was Buck. He loved his darling Pearl. Ever since the first time he took her for a twirl on the dance floor. On the dance floor. On the dance floor.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
beautiful.
Woo, very nice.
Thanks. I think we definitely need to end this up with a dance party tonight. I'm leaning in that direction. Definitely.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Moira, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you this for quite a while.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good. I no longer have those other conversations. My mother and I, we both have a deep love of music, but our tastes in live performance did not overlap much. I was not a big fan of symphony. She was never going to go to a heavy metal concert. But we came together in folk music. And we heard you on the Matt Watroba's show here, the Folks Like Us program, and she loved Psycho Mom and Dad. So when you came to Ann Arbor, I think it has to be almost 30 years ago now. We made a special trip, got my brother and sister, we all trooped out to watch, and you did I Know Exactly What Love Is. And that is, I'm sorry, I'm going to get all emotional now. That is the first time I have seen my mother moved to tears by a song. Her father had died before she was born. My grandmother was pregnant and he died very young. And so she grew up without her father, but she grew up in a world where everybody else had known him and she missed him her entire life. And so when you sang, at the time that she heard this, she was in her mid-80s, and she heard you describing basically death and going into heaven as being held by her dad. And really, I have never seen, she was not a woman to be very demonstrative in public, and she cried. And at that same concert, you were talking about something anyway, but you referred to the fact that you had played a funeral. And on the way home from it, when we were driving back to Detroit, she was talking about that. And because of her age and all things, we had discussed death and funerals and all that for a long time. And I said, well, would you like Don White to play at your funeral? And she said, I like that idea a lot. So a couple of years later, when she was in fact dying, I sent email to you, and I think actually it was your wife who initially responded, and I explained that my mother was dying, that we didn't know when, but if it was possible that you could come play her funeral. And your wife wrote back and said, oh, he'd love to, if timing is everything, but he'd love to do it if it's possible. And I want to tell you how much comfort that brought my mother in her final weeks. Because of the timing, it was not possible, but she didn't know that. What she knew up until the time of her, that she actually died, and she was 98 at that point, what she knew is that you were willing to come and play at her funeral. And it brought her an enormous amount of comfort. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. How do you say no to that? Like how would what like nah. Right? My mom, the only thing she wants in this life after raising me and being everything I could be is for you to sing at her funeral. What do you say? Nah. Yeah, I can remember doing jokes about this. Like I got a call from somebody one time, and she said to me, "I want you to play at my funeral." And I'm like looking at the phone, going, "Where are you calling me from?" Are you already dead? Cell phones are kind of a mystery. Maybe they work from the other side. I don't know. But yeah, I can't tell you how many funerals. It's funny about that song because people will want it then and they'll want it at weddings and like, it's like a multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, it
for
is.
you. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate it. I wonder where my career would be if I hadn't written that thing. Like it brought so many people. It's like I don't know. I think once in your lifetime as a songwriter, you kind of stumble on something that's bigger than you, and that one is it. And I'm grateful to Muse or whatever. All right. So it looks like everybody who wanted to talk has talked. If not, raise your hand up. No, all right. Neil, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, Don, I just want to say, how much our friendship has meant to me personally and really to my entire family because what Moira was just talking about was so from the heart, and I really love that story. And just with her mom passing, the fact that she knew that song of yours, that you were coming, that you had agreed to that, was so special. And I think I told you many, many years back that my daughter used to hang a copy of the words to that song right over her bed. Um, that's how special that song is to so many people, and it was a hit to my daughter at age maybe 8 or 9 when she heard it, and she just loved it then. But
Go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I just wanted to bring up a couple of things that and the friendship you and I have held now for so many years is so meaningful. The number of times that you've featured at my open mic, you've opened um, um, at my virtual open mics currently, and you've played for my musicians for the Greater Good concerts, for every single good cause. That's what Don White represents to me. Um, to When you and Teresa invited us all to your home in Lynn for the Greater Open Mic Summit at the Lynn household way back when there were so many of us there. It was a great day, and so many of us traded ideas and thoughts. I treasure those days, that day, just as much as I treasure these days. That you're, and I'm really kind of glad that you're. I'm going to miss these Thursdays, just like everybody right here is going to be missing. And the reason I asked you about, that last chapter, I was quite sure it was the last chapter of your previous book, but I just love what you have to say about things from the heart, from the forgiveness, and being the light of your heart is going to move you forward. And that's what you've done with all of us for the last 2 years. And you've introduced each of us to each other. Nobody in this whole platform would I have known if it wasn't for you, Don White. And I just want to personally thank you for that.
Well, Neil, you're welcome. You're making me blush a little bit. I was kind of I don't want this to be like like I'm soliciting praise. But
You're not. You deserve praise, and we love you for that.
let me just say this. Neil Braverman is the best person that I know. If you knew his story of how much health issues he's had, how if you call Neil Braverman at 3 in the morning and you tell him that there's a problem, if I called him, he would come out of bed and hobble, because he hobbles, to wherever you were. He's just that way. He's like everything a human being should be. So I couldn't love you any more than I do. I say that, I've said it a few times tonight, but I mean it. And thanks for everything, and thanks for what you do. I'm just really just an extension of what you're doing. Neil makes sure that everybody has a voice in this world. He dedicates his life to it, and he's, an example for me. So.
Thank you, John White.
So
I love you, my friend.
I'm exhausted from the praise, is what's happening.
You deserve every word of it.
Praise, exhausted, but I appreciate it. So I think now I want to just have a dance party. So that means everybody. Oh, Christine Lavin, look at that. Shows up at the. Hi, Chris. Wait a second. Wait, Christine Lavin made it just in time for the dance party. Christine Lavin, look at that. Shows up at the. Hi, Chris. Wait a second.
Hey, Don. You know what? I'm at Megan Carey's
made
house.
it just in time for the dance party.
Oh.
Shows up at the. Hey, Chris. Wait a second.
Hey, Don. You know what? I'm at Megan.
Christine, you have to shut Facebook off or
Christine,
whatever.
yeah, it sounds like Facebook is going on in the background or YouTube. We can hear it echoing back. If you can mute or shut off whatever's playing, we'll be okay. We'll come back.
It's a celebrity cameo with reverb and echo. It's hard enough to hear me one time, but to hear me repeat myself every line is too a little much. Hey, wow, hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, where did he? Hi.
Hey, Don, do you know Megan Carey?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think it's still...
Oh my gosh, where did he?
So Christine, you've got something else open there, like it's Facebook or YouTube, and you have to shut that off. Oh, there she goes. All right. She's back. All right. Christine Lavin, was she really here or not? Was it a dream or not? We don't know. No. Christine and I, we toured for 9 years. I have more stories about that woman. She gave me a list of all the folk singers she wants me to stand at the door and tell them they're not welcome at her funeral. This is your job. I've been nice to him while I was living, but I want you to tell him no, they can't come.
That's awesome.
Oh boy. All right. So we let's. Kara, did you want to say something, dear?
No, I'm just so moved. I just want to say, Dawn, this has been, I stopped going to church a wicked long time ago, years and years and years ago. But I have to say that during the pandemic, this Thursday night meeting has been my church.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Christine Lavin, what do you got going? Talk.
Well, I'm playing at the Philadelphia Folk Song Society tomorrow night, and Megan Carey is she used to live in New York. Now she lives in Philly, and she's going to be a surprise guest.
Oh.
I don't know. Shh, I didn't know that.
She's going to be a surprised guest because it's April Fool's Day.
It's not going to be a surprise because this is streaming through every corner of the internet right now. The gig is up.
No, April Fools. I'm not doing it. No.
No, just kidding. Just joking.
We were just kidding.
Wait, and you got to say what's behind her.
Let's see. Ah, there you go. Hi.
That's Gracie. Say hi,
Gracie. Hey, Gracie.
Why don't you talk to Gracie? See if she looks at the screen.
She said, it doesn't sound like a squirrel, so I don't really care. If it was a squirrel, I'd be jumping.
Christine, you arrived just in time if you want to do anything or say anything, but we're going to end up with our dance party if you want to.
Oh, this is so great. Yes. Wait a minute. You know what? You don't know Megan. Megan, could you, where's my guitar? Did I bring it up here?
Oh, it's downstairs.
Megan, you going to play a song? What the heck? Everyone knows you're coming to the show tomorrow. You know, there's no secret.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. I was just going to do some work on my computer, and I saw that you were live. Hey, Gracie, look, it's Don White. He's like the greatest.
So, Christine, this is the last one. We did 90 of them, and this is it. I'm done after this night.
You're not doing any more after this?
No, I'm done. Yeah, I have to travel now. Thursday's a travel day, and as you well know, right?
Yeah.
And it's been, it's done. But all the people in the Zoom meeting here are a big part of who's come every week for 90 shows. So we're just kind of having
Okay.
a good goodbye. All right, so Megan, this is so just so you know, let me bring you up to speed. We've done these Thursday nights for 2 years. This is the 90th one, we'll say, something like that, and it is the last one. So you are going to play the last song that got played in 90 concerts to a crew of the most dedicated and wonderful fans that you can imagine. So how about that?
Wow. Wow.
Take us out. Take us home, Megan.
I'm going to take y'all home, but for these you fabulous dedicated fans, does everybody like to sing?
You can't sing on Zoom, you know that, right?
I know that. Well, no, yes, you can sing. I just can't hear you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, for
Sure.
2 years, I've been having people sing along, and I just have to imagine.
All right, we'll do that.
Well, say all
Yeah.
their microphones are open.
Oh, okay. Well, so you probably all your microphones are open.
We'll shut them down. We'll sing with you. Go ahead.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know the drill.
And I promise you, your neighbors they'll think it's really cool. They'll be like, wow, what's going on over there? It's a party. This is a song that I wrote, inspired by my mama, but it's for all the women out there who are brave and bold and continue to speak their truth despite everything that's going on in the world. This is called River Rock, all right? You'll know what to sing. Oh, I am no one's baby. I am not a girl. I have spent some decades rattling around this world. I am not the next new thing. No, I've been here too long. I have spent my life turning stories into song. I am not silver. I am not gold. No precious metal for you to mold. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life. This life I choose. Oh, I have come to see things through a prism lens as I make this journey closer to its end. And many times I'm troubled by much of what I see, but I won't waste my breath declaring you've done this to me. I am not silver, I am not gold, no precious metal for you to mold. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life. This life I choose. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life. This life I choose. Every step along the way, I made my own choice. I tried to choose the truth. That's how I found my voice. I am not silver, I am not gold, no precious metal for you to mold. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth. You can sing this with me. By the rush of light, this life I choose. I am a river rock, I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life. By the rush of life, this life I choose. I am not silver, I am not silver, I am not gold, no precious metal, no precious metal for you to mold. I am a river rock, I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life, by the rush of life. This life I choose. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life, by the rush of life. This life I choose. One last time. I am a river rock, tumbled smooth by the rush of life, this life I choose.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Woo!
That's great.
That was
I love
great.
that song.
Oh, I
Great
love
sound.
it.
Were you singing?
Love
Did you sing
it.
along?
Yes, yeah, everyone was singing.
Yeah,
All right,
that was
so
great.
thank you. What a great way to wrap up 2 years worth of stuff with it. You know, what we always love is to hear new voices and to bring new people into our world. So before we do our big dance party finale here, I want to say that Christine Lavin, you know, her and I are pretty good pals. We did a lot of touring together, but the thing about her like with Neil, the thing I learned from Neil about how to be in the world, one of the things for Christine is that she's always championing other people. She's just a perfect example of the tide rising, bringing up all the boats in the harbor. And every place we went, she would bring someone on stage, give them a chance. People who may not have another chance to be on a big stage like that ever. She always doing it. And in my shows subsequently, I do it. You know, you have to be careful not to put people over their head and all that stuff. But it's something I learned from her, and it's one of the things that I admire about her tremendously. One of many things. So thank you, Christine, for that. And now, so Brandon, do you want to give us a tutorial on how to put your party hats on? So first of all, everybody go into the gallery view. And so it's time to dress up. So Jim and Maureen, and let's see, Brandon, everybody, Amy, like, you know, Sherry, it's time to, you know, put your camera on. If it's at all, if you have pants on, you gotta put your camera on.
I got pants.
And so,
by the way, Don, I want to tell you, tomorrow night our show's going to be live streamed, and she is going to be a surprise guest on the show at the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. So
that's wonderful. Excellent. You know, you and I think played there. That's a wonderful space there. So, all right. So if you know how to put your party hat on, do it. If not, Brandon, our technician, for one final time now, is going to give us a tutorial.
Last time. All right. So if you go down to the stop video button in the bottom left corner of your screen, this is assuming you're on a computer, you'll see a little up arrow. Click on that, go to your video settings, or you can click on use virtual background. And then if you click on video filters, you'll see all of these fancy frames like the one Don has right here. You can add glasses.
I can steal it from you.
Masks, all kinds of stuff.
That's good. Oh, I like that one. That's good. Yeah. The pirate, that's good. I kind of like this one. The burglar. Yeah. All right. So Jeff and Hannah, what I want you guys to do is to put the halo on and show people how you can steal halos. This is what my grandchildren taught me. Brandon, can you direct them to the halo? It's a little hard to find.
Yeah, the halo is, I think, let's see.
The halo looks like there's nothing. It's just
it's right next to a black hat that has zoom right next to the masks. It looks like just a little smiley face.
Oh, wait.
Hard to see, but
that's
it just looks like a smiley face with nothing on top.
Yeah, there you go.
So now listen, put your head next to his and look at this. Hannah, right?
Oh my gosh. Love it.
Go ahead, get it, grab it, get
it. Wait, I'm trying to find it.
I think it's up here.
This is my grandchildren taught me that. Like we put the halos on, and then they just were beating the brains out of each other, stealing each other's halos, which I really love. The idea of halo stealing is just really something.
You can do it with the fake eyebrows too. You can make. I made my eyebrows go on to Pete.
All right, so everybody, put your party hat on. I want you to take a look at. Brandon, can you teach them how to walk on the ceiling as well?
Yeah. So on that same screen, if you look up at the top of your where your video is on that same video settings, in the top corner, you're going to see a little black square with an arrow, and you can rotate So you can flip upside down like this.
All
You
right.
spinning.
And then whatever you have on your head thinks that your neck is your head too, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
So Sarah and looks like Amanda are going to be dancing on the ceiling. So the way you do that is you have your hands like this, right? So you're dangling. All right, and then so the last song, the true last song in our '90s show extravaganza, the pandemic safety zone, the pandemic oasis, is going to be a song called Boom Chaka Wang Wang. I wrote it. It's John Fecky's voice that you hear, but this is a song that I wrote after I had written another in a series of songs that should have been novellas that had too many words in them and too big ideas. And I thought, I'm just going to write a song now about booty shaking, and that's where the money is. And so this is the booty shaking song. Stand up if you can, and we'll dance our way out of the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Don't forget, have your gallery view on so you can watch the Dawn White dancers. All right, here we go. So Brandon, here you go.
I love you, big mama, let me say that thing. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. When I see you chugga wang, it makes me wanna sing. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. My mom wants me to read and try to use my brain, but I just wanna see my baby boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. The DJ at the wedding is so damn lame. To get this party jumping, play boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Break it down. Boom. Ow. Boom. Ow. Chugga wang wang. Ow. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang. Boom chugga wang wang, boom chugga wang.
All right.
Gracie, you want to be on the ceiling, Gracie? Look, you're on the ceiling.
All
Gracie.
That's got a good beat to it. I give it an 85.
What good is it if the kids can't dance to it? That's what I want to know. It's good, but the kids can't dance to it. You and your folk music. All right, listen. Like I said to everybody all through this thing, this has meant a lot to me. You guys have been fantastic. Whatever you got out of it, I got it times everybody that watched it. You know, it was really lonesome for us here. We had someone in our family who was autoimmune, so for the first year of the pandemic, we really couldn't go out. We were isolated, and this was my connection to everybody. It kept me connected and happy, and so it's been great. Tomorrow night, I just thought of, I'm doing a show. Brandon, can you post that? It's for the Community Church of Boston. It's an April Fool's Day show. I mean, you know, you can alternate between Christine's show over there in Philadelphia and my show here in Boston. That's a Zoom show. That's a live stream. Other than that, if anybody that's listening to this, if you want to gather your friends together and do something like this, we know how to do it. I'm happy to do that. You know, the little concert online for people who can't come to a show. But I'm busy now. I don't know how I got so busy, but I'm traveling now and touring, and for the foreseeable future, maybe I'll be near where you are. Take care of each other. Remember something. This is what I want to leave you with here before we say goodbye. War is the elephant in the room today, and peace was a idea that meant something when I was a teenager. It got taken away from us. It became a word, at least in some circles, that people used to mock hippies and whatever. But I think it's important for us to take that word back. That's our word. Peace is our word, and peace means something. If you don't think so, go online and take a look at what's going on in Ukraine. Peace matters, and it's our word. And I wish you all peace in your heart, peace in your world, peace in your community. And it's not a hippie word. It's not a hippie word. It's a beautiful word, and I'm taking it back. It's my word. So peace. All right.